Welcome inside to the MTS Center here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Dan Dunleavy along with Jim Ralph as we prep for the Leafs and the Winnipeg Jets. These teams will meet twice more this season, tonight and then in Toronto on Saturday. That will be it for the season series. Toronto with a couple of late goals the last time that we were here to take a victory for the Winnipeg Jets. And of all the teams in the NHL, now that the Chicago Stadium's gone, now that the Boston Garden is gone, this isn't the oldest rink, but it certainly does feel like the atmosphere in here might be the one rink where you'd think the home team has a better advantage over anybody else, but they've not been able to take advantage of that so far this season.
Well, and I think we believe that because of the hoopla and the celebration of bringing this team back to Winnipeg, even though it came through Atlanta this time, and the success they had last year. Many believe the honeymoon phase is over, that, you know, we wanted you back, we got you back, you were great at home, we rewarded you by being loyal and very supportive fans. Now we want to get in. You know, now it's almost like any other relationship. Honeymoon phase is over, and now get down to the bare bones and give us something. So right now it's almost worked against them, that the expectation was that they'll always be great at home. But this is a Canadian hockey market, and with that comes expectations, and right now they're not being met.
Well, if expectations are to have good special teams, at least on one side of the coin for the Winnipeg Jets right now, it is their penalty kill over the last 8 games. Obviously, it's not going to stop the Leafs from trying to get on the power play here tonight and put some pucks in behind Pavlik if indeed he's the starter.
Well, and the irony was that when the Leafs did win in here last game, it was Phil Kessel that scored a power play goal late. That was the difference in the hockey game. Tyler Bozak had a shorthanded goal, so the Leafs found a way to do it. And really, you look back to that time frame, it was a starting point for the Leafs. It looked like they were in trouble heading on the road. They won in Washington by a goal, and they come in here winning in Winnipeg by a goal as well. But I think from a Toronto standpoint, it's they've got to get back to playing more like Winnipeg. Their penalty kill has been good as well. But the Leafs have been giving up more goals of late than I think Randy Carlyle would like, and I believe it's now 24 goals against in their last 6 games. That's not how they had success early on. It's great they're still managing to get some points out of those games, but I think it's whether it's mental fatigue and now the attention to detail isn't quite there the way it was earlier in the season. Leafs have to get back to saying, well, we got to win the 2-1, 3-2 games, which is what Winnipeg, I think, has that mentality. But the Leafs, I think, have to follow that.
One last thought. The first line went through a little bit of a drought as far as scoring goes. They seem to be back on the beam as far as Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk. Your thoughts on what you've seen from the Toronto first line here over the last couple of games? And, you know, even the losses to Pittsburgh and Boston, it did seem like they were the catalyst for a lot of things.
Yeah, I think, you know, the expectations are going to be, even if you're struggling, do something on the power play. You know, that you can go 4 or 5 games where 5-on-5 you're not dominant, you're not generating a lot, the legs aren't there, but you're the skilled guys in the power play, so at least get us something. It's no different than when a team overall goes into a bit of a drought. We'll get some overtime losses and some shootout losses, get some points in there that are going to help in the long run. So I think that's what you're looking for from the Big Five, although we have seen, I think in the last 2 or 3 games, Randy Carlyle has gone to Grabowski, Clark MacArthur and Nazem Kadri is the first unit. They don't usually get 90 seconds, but they'll be out there for the first minute. So Randy Carlyle, I think, is sort of challenged the number 1 line, that if you're going to be the number 1 line and the number 1 power play unit, we need something from you, or the other guys are going to get their opportunity. But I think that's where the expectations are, Danny. Give us something on the power play. You know, we had enough opportunities. We mentioned in here the game-winning goal was a power play goal by Phil Kessel. So often, specialty teams, whether it's the penalty kill or the power play, could be the difference in so many one-goal games that we've seen.
Well, the Leafs will hope to have their top 6 firing on all cylinders tonight here at the MTS Center. The face-off is set for 8 on Leafs TV, pregame at 7:30. Jim and I will have the call on Sportsnet 590, the Fan Radio.